Hello, I'm Kathleen Hall, and this is Live an Intentional Life.
Hello, and I'm Michelle Schlafman.
Here we are today, and we're beginning a show called Live an Intentional Life. What we have noticed, Michelle is a psychotherapist, and in the work I've done for so many years, I think I've never seen a time in my lifetime where people seem so disoriented and confused, and there's so much noise in the world. I think the advent of technology has almost become an obsession with us. And people say they want things, but they just are so confused in how to get them. I mean, it's not like you can download an app and click or delete. When you say intention, it really is a focused, a goal. But it's different than a goal. Because I think if we just, like in business, you have your business goals, and there they are laid out for you. I think intention has more heart and soul in it. It's more of your beyond destiny. It's more of your calling. And if you have an intention, I think you say, I'm going to do this in 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, hopefully. But then you leave, don't you think you leave up psychological, spiritual, open space?
Absolutely.
That instead of it being maybe like a pencil or a pen or something very straight with a direct trajectory, I think an intentional life is more like the fountainhead of a mountain that has the water coming down and the ocean is here. And you know that's your goal. But boy, there's a whole lot of stuff that happens.
And windy roads.
Exactly. And I think the more that you practice, though, intentional living, the more you have the confidence in gravity and the way that the water swerves and the way that everything goes, that you know when you're off too, that you know about intention. And I know you see people, clients and patients, probably that are lost, and if you even ask them their intention, they feel like a victim, like they're on some kind of boat in an ocean and they have little control.
And I think with intention too, it has to do with your purpose as well, in order to kind of really feel that intentional life that we're talking about. It's challenging at times to get lost in what is your purpose, and being and knowing what your intention is really important. And talking about the windy road and just traveling down, once you start to get more control over that by kind of the things that you've developed, it really helps that road become so much more smooth.
Yes, yes.
In so many ways.
And don't you think it's also important that if you're going to say, I have this intention, it's a college education, or I'm really in an unhappy work relationship, or I'm in an unhappy marriage, or whatever it is, this is my intention. Don't you think, and again, coming from what you do and what you love doing, caring for people, don't you think social support is really important in that too?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. When people feel loved and when people feel appreciated, and when you have a beautiful social network that just kind of just cradles you like a big hug, that helps so much, and you feel so loved, and it helps with being able to find your intention, having that social support. It really does.
And I call it the buddy system.
Yes.
That I think in this world of isolation, which is what we're struggling with
really
technology, I think that people are afraid to say, I want to be president of the United States, or I want to be CEO of this company, because people will laugh at you, or who do you think you are?
Yes.
And I think, though, that when you share with a buddy system, it's really amazing with somebody else, even one other person. It doesn't have to be some grand family thing, that at least they'll help you, don't you think? It's kind of like a dog that, helps these little sheep and keeps them all honed in together. I think they tell you now, weren't you going to quit drinking as much? Or weren't you thinking about going back to school, and maybe you need to whatever the situation, don't you think? Because lots of times you're in such habitual behavior, it's hard for you to set an intention and then really focus on it.
And it's nice to have that outside support and opinions of one another too, to kind of, it's like a cheerleading system too. They want to kind of boost you up and be there for you, especially if you have down days. So yeah, I think that social support and
that's a good point, because when you get lost, it's hard to be your own cheerleader.
It is.
That's a very, very good point.
I think we all need our own cheerleaders.
Yes, especially being a cheerleader like high school and college. I
Rah.
won't say anything, but go fight, win. Except we don't do go fight, win. We go love, win. Go love, win. Yes, we don't do the fight part. So we're going to do a 4-part series. The first one is this, talking about intention and what is intention, the difference in goals. And then the second part will be, we're going to dissect this a little to give you more, I think, concrete direction. And this will be the first of a whole show on living an intentional life. But first we thought we'd set up the framework to help you get the happiest and most fulfilled and meaningful life.
Absolutely.
A life of purpose.
With a lot of love.
With a lot of love, yeah, and a lot of support. So, again, I'm Kathleen Hall.
And I'm Michelle Schlafman.
And this is Live an Intentional Life, and thanks for joining us today.